And so now we're at this point in history where we have to talk a little bit more about the conflicts that actually happened during this time. So some skills and concepts that we'll be using today. So students will be able to explain American relations in America and with European nations under Washington's presidency. And so what you might be like, American relations, what does that mean? So American relations is the relationship that America has with different types of groups. So we're going to be talking about the relationship America has with Americans and also with European nations today, and how impactful those are also going to be on the future of the United States. And so make sure you guys remember, I just want you guys writing the bolded section down for the skills and concepts. And so we will also be breaking out into groups today, and you guys will read out loud and summarize actually the farewell address of George Washington. So we're going to be summarizing that today as well, and we're going to dive deeper into the importance of George Washington's farewell address and how it was not just this long speech that George Washington made, but also had a lot of significance that still matters today. So I'm going to give you guys another 15 seconds. Remember, just write down the bolded section. Okay? So I'm going to again pick someone at random to read our first vocab word of the day. And the first person I picked was Jose. Jose, can you read Northwest Territory for us? Jose, can you read Northwest Territory for us? Okay, remember,
U.S. territory created by Congress in 1787, encompassing the region lying west of Pennsylvania, north of Ohio River, east of Mississippi River, and south of the Great Lakes.
Thank you so much, Jose. So yes, so this region, this territory, this Northwest Territory is actually, there's a map right here on the Nearpod that actually resembles what that is perfectly. And so it's the states of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio that are all part of this Northwest Territory. And this territory actually, during this time in American history, was nothing but Native Americans. No problem, Diana. Thank you for being here. So, so this land in Northwest Territory was nothing but Native Americans at this time. However, we're going to start seeing that American settlers are going to start coming over to this land, and they're going to start taking some of this land, especially in Ohio. And we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that and the importance behind that as well today. So I'm going to give you guys, let's go another 30 seconds to write this down since it's a little bit longer. So all of these areas are very cold. So you guys might be like, hey, Minnesota and Wisconsin, we know that's cold. Maybe you're like, Michigan, it's surrounded by lakes, going to be pretty cold there. However, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio are also pretty cold as well, and that also impacts the settlers that are trying to go over as well. Okay, our next vocab word is French Revolution, and I'm going to have Mia. Mia, can you read French Revolution for us? Mia, can you read French Revolution for us? Okay, remember, if you guys aren't able to read or anything like that, please message me in advance. Okay? So I'm going to pick someone else to read French Revolution for us. Okay, Angel, can you read French Revolution for us?
Okay. A long period of radical political, and I don't know if that's the right word, and so,
Societal.
societal change in France between 1789 and 1799.
Good job, Angel. So you guys might be like, well, why are we learning about the French Revolution? What? It is the American history class. What are we learning about the French Revolution for? Well, French Revolution had a pretty big impact on America as well. Remember, France helped us fight in the American Revolution. So once they have their own revolution, there's going to be a lot of people that are asking America to say, hey, can you come join us? Can you come join us? And we're going to learn today if did America actually go and join these people, or did we just get left out? Did we just leave them alone and not get involved? So I'm going to give you guys another 15 seconds to write this down since it's a little bit shorter. So when I mean this is a violent period as well, this 10 years gap of the French Revolution was also extremely violent. Of course, they had to try to overthrow their king. Once they overthrew their king, everyone wanted power. Everyone, you were going down the streets, and it was dangerous just walking down the streets. So everyone during the French Revolution definitely wanted to get involved. They all wanted power. So the next word we're going to talk about is neutrality. And I'm going to have Foggy. Foggy, can you read neutrality for us?
Neutrality, the state of being neutral, especially refusal to take part in war between other countries.
Thank you so much, Foggy. So yes, so neutrality is this idea of like, hey, look, if there's a war happening in another country, we're not going to get involved in it if it doesn't involve us. During this time, we're actually going to talk about today, so a little bit of a spoiler as well with the French Revolution one. America is going to start being like, you know what? Why are we going to get involved in other people's conflicts when we have our own problems here at home? Why would we go and fight someone else's war that can not only will we go and die for them, not only will we put ourselves further into debt, but also we can be dragged into some conflict that we have nothing to do with. And so America is going to start adapting this idea of neutrality so that we're just going to be like, hey, look, we're not going to get involved in it. We're just going to stay off, hands off, and we're not going to try to fight. So go ahead. I'm going to give you guys another 10 seconds to write this down. And of course, this idea of neutrality actually, it's actually something George Washington is like. George Washington himself was like, hey, look, we need neutrality in America. Okay. So we are now going to recall on a little bit of information, not just from last lesson, but also some information we learned all the way back in October. So we're going to be using the time to climb to recall some of that past information. And so go ahead, guys, select a character. So you guys can select any character that you guys want. And we are going to be answering 4 different questions, actually. So try to get first place, okay, guys? And I know some of them are going to be kind of hard because we haven't learned about it in almost a month. Your hand might slip and pick the wrong one, Diana. Well, hopefully you can just grip onto your mouse properly. So we've already had, with the other 4 classes that we've had already, everyone has had a new winner. So we'll see if we get the same repeat winner in here or if we actually get a new one as well. So I'm going to give you guys, let's go another 10 seconds to pick your character, and then we are going to get started. So remember, I want to see everyone in here participating and choosing a character. Also, that you guys are logged onto the Nearpod as well. Remember, if you guys are not logged onto the Nearpod, that will greatly impact your grade as well, guys, okay? Okay, so we are going to get started. Okay, so question number 1. Who was the first Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court? Was it James Madison, John Jay, Thomas Jefferson, or Alexander Hamilton? So this is something we learned about in last class. Remember, this is the Chief Justice that George Washington himself appointed to the United States Supreme Court. And we're going to be learning about a little bit about what he did today as well. So the answer to question number 1 is John Jay. And so we have Alyssa in first, Foggy in second, and in third place we have Pablo. So question number 2, during the Revolutionary War, who helped the Americans fight against the British? Was it Mexico, Canada, China, or France? So who helped America fight the Revolutionary War against the British? Okay, so the answer to question number 2 is France. So France helped the Americans fight in the Revolutionary War. So the third question, the Articles of the Confederation gave the federal government the power to tax citizens. Is this true or false? That the Articles of Confederation gave the federal government the power to tax citizens. Is this true or false? Okay, so the answer to this question is false. The Articles of Confederation did not give the federal government the power to tax citizens. So question number 4, what mountain range separated America from the Native American land? Was it the Appalachian Mountains, the Sierra Nevada Mountains, the Rockies, or the Great Smoky Mountains? This one is from about a month and a half ago, so this one's going to be a little bit of a challenge as well. Which mountain range separated America from the Native American land? So the answer to question number 4 is Appalachian. The Appalachian Mountains is what separated America from the rest of Native American land. So Alyssa took first for today. In second place, we have Pablo. Third is Jose. Fourth was Chinu. And fifth was Foggy. So congratulations to everyone on the podium, especially